Hey guys, Storm221 back again with another, the last Nanoblock Unbuild and Rebuild, and this video is going to be focusing on Articuno, the ice bird Pokemon, and one of the 3 legendary bird Pokemon that debuted in Pokemon Red and Blue back in the late 90s. Now, this Pokemon, you can normally catch it, it makes its home in the icy locations like frozen caves or snowy hills or whatnot. But when you catch this Pokemon in red or blue or yellow, depending on which game you play, it makes its home near Cinnabar Island, which is kind of a scary thought as it can melt its home if it's not careful. But we are not going to build Articuno's nest, we're going to build the model itself. So what we've got here is a lot of pastel blue according to the instructions all around here with the L's and T's. We've also got some 2x2s, 2x3s, and 2x4s here. We've got some 1x3s, 1x1s, 1x2s, and 1x4s. We even have some cerulean blues right here at the top. We've also got some light grays right here, and some clear see-through bricks as well. I'll show you at the end what you have to do with those. And we've also got some whites for the chest, for its chest. But right now, I'm just going to get started on build step 1 of the build. Now it does have, as you can, there we go. Probably tell it's quite a big little instruction leaflet. But what I will do is, in regards to the wings, for steps 16 and 17, I will do them both at the same time. But I'm going to do step 1, which is to start off on Articuno's body. Okay, so step 1 of the build is now complete. First of all, I did the white 1x3 here at the front, and the 2 light pastel 2x3s right here and here. Then a 1x2 right here and here. Now, in regards to the light pastels, it doesn't really matter how you do it. But when you put the white 1x3 in the front, that is going to be your key marker for when you carry on with the build. It will act sort of like as a foundation brick for later on. So when you put the white 1x3, make sure that you stick with it, otherwise it will look awkward as you carry on with the build. So I'm now going to get moving to step 2 of the build. Right, so step 2 is now completed. What I did was I began with the white T right here, and then I placed it right in the middle of the white 1x3. Do not put the the longest part of the T on the 1x3, otherwise you will make the model look a little really off. So do the T, sorry, the bit right here where my index finger is, and make sure that it's on top of the middle of the white 1x3. Then I put on the white L's besides each one of the T gaps. And I had to make sure that the L's are facing, one here facing southwest and here facing southeast. Then at the back I did a pastel blue 2x3 here and a 2x2 right here. Finally a 2x3 right here. So we are starting to build up more of the chest of Articuno, and we are going to get some more of that white done as well. So we're going to move on to step 3 of the build. Step 3 is now completed. Let me show you guys what I did. First of all, I did the white 2x3 here at the front so that it's giving the model a good sense of stability as you carry on with the build. Then, right here, as you can see, is a white 1x2 here and here. And you have to make sure that they are on top of the white L's from the previous step. Just one peg away here, not that far in. And as you can see on the camera, and you should be good to go. Then was the pastel blue L's here and here, where the gaps are filled by the white 1x2s from last time. Then 2 more L's here and here, and the gaps are facing northwest and northeast here. Then at the back, I did the pastel blue 1x3, then a 1x2 right here in the middle. So we're now starting to build up more of the body of Articuno. It's time to get to work on step 4 of the build. Okay, so step 4 of the build is now complete. So I did a white 1x3 right here at the front, then a 2x3 right here, followed by another white L here, then a pastel blue 2x2 here and a 2x3 right here, and at the back is a pastel blue 1x4 and a 1x3. And yeah, we're actually also starting to build up the main part of the wings now. So we're going to get to work on that next. But step 5 is going to be where we'll build up more of the body as well. Step number 5 is now completed. What I did was I started off with white 2x3 here at the front. Then behind it in the middle is a pastel blue 1x4, so that we got a nice big spot foundation brick for the rest of the build. Then I did a pastel blue 2x2 here and here, followed by 2 T's, one here and one here in the same color, followed by an L here and an L there. The L here has to be facing southwest, and the L here has to be facing southeast. So now we're going to move on to the next step of the build, where we're also going to focus on more of the body, but also carry on with building up the wings of Articuno. Okay, so we are now done with step 6 of the build. First of all, there is a white 1x1 right there, where it kind of forms the tuft at the top of the body of Articuno. Then we have got 2 pastel blue 2x3s here and here, followed by some 1x3s here, and again here and here. Next up at the back, where the wings start to form, I have to put on 2 pastel blue L's here and here, and then in between each one is a pastel blue 1x2 here and here. So if you're wondering why we're doing this now, it's so that we can get a good solid build to work up towards the wings of Articuno, so that they don't fall off the model later on. But we are going to work more on the wings and also the head of Articuno. We're now going to get to work on step 7 of the build. Okay, so step 7 of the build is now completed. So there's no white parts in this one, thankfully. But there is a few more pastel blues. I started off with a T pastel blue right here, with the point facing the top, towards the back, sorry. Then I put on some 2x3s here and here. And then put in another T right here, so that it formed a nice little circle of sorts. Then at the back is a pastel blue L here and here. This one's facing northwest and this one's northeast. And then the gaps are filled by two 2x3s, one here and one here. So we are working on the wings as we're working on the head. And we're going to carry on with the head and the wings as we move on to step 8 of the build. Okay, so step 8 of the build is now complete. I went backwards first, from the wings to the head, just so that I had a good bit of stability. Oh, and we're missing a piece here in the build. Let me just fix that up. There we go. So let's start off with here at the back, a 2x3 here. Well, I did a 1x1 first, where the gap from the last step was. Then I put on another 2x3 here, and same again on the other side of the wing here and here. Then what I did was I did a pastel blue 2x3 right here. Yeah. Then a grey a 1x4 right there. Then a grey 1x4 right here, and again here, and then right here is another 1x4, and you have to make sure that it is at least 2 pegs in front of the other two 1x4s in the middle to help form the beak, and of course another pastel 1x4 right here, and as you saw me do earlier, a pastel blue 2x3 right there. So step 8 is now complete, and I'm now going to move on to step 9 of the build, where we're going to carry on building up Articuno's head and some more foundations for the wings. Right, so step 9 of the build is now complete. Let me begin off here at the beak. It is a grey T right here where the point is facing downwards. As you can see, where it's forming more of the Articuno's beak. Then I've got the brown, well, the darkest brown 1x2s here and here, followed by 2 more white 1x2s here and here. Then some pastel blue 2x2 here and a 2x3 here. And finally, a pastel blue on its own 1x1 here and then here. So we are done with the foundations of the wings for now. So we're going to move on to building up Articuno's head, and we're going to leave the wings for the time being, but we're going to, it's just so that we can focus on the main body of Articuno. So I'm going to get to work on step 10. Okay, so step 10 of the build is now complete, and we're actually getting to work on the cerulean blue of the model now. So first of all, I did the cerulean blue 1x2 in the front right here. Then I went and put on the cerulean blue L's here and here. This gap has to be facing southwest, and this one is southeast, as you can see. So that it's got a nice form of head for Articuno's head. Then I put on the pastel blue L's, and the same again with the cerulean blues. Then I put on the white 1x1s here and here to finish forming the eyes. Then a pastel blue 1x3 right here at the back of the head. So that is that for step 10 of the build. I'm now going to get to work on step 11, where we're going to carry on building up the crown of Articuno's head. Okay, so this is step 11 of the build now. So we've got some more cerulean blue pieces. We've got a 2x3 here and a 2x2 right there. And then at the back, behind each one is a cerulean blue 1x3 here and here. And you have to make sure that there's a nice little gap between the two cerulean blues, otherwise it would look awkward. Then a pastel blue 1x3 right here at the back. So we're nearly done with the building of the Articuno's head. We just have to keep working upwards and upwards so that we got the nice crown of the model. So this is what step 12 is going to look like in a second. Alright, so step 12 of the build is now complete, and it was really simple. All you had to do is start off with a cerulean blue 1x1 right here at the front in the middle, then a 2x3 right here at the back, followed by two 1x2s right here and here, so that we can start to form the crown on Articuno's head. So step 13, I'm going to do on camera for you guys, and of course step 14 and 15, so it's a bit of a time saver. So you put on a 1x2 right there in the middle, followed by two L's, where on the right the gap is facing southeast, and on the left it's facing southwest. And that's that for step 13. So now it's on to step 14, where we do the 1x2s right here, and again on top of the L's, as such. And that is that for step 14. And finally for step 15, the coup de grace. Nice little one on its own. And there we go. We are done with the crown on Articuno's head. And it's starting to look like a real majestic bird of ice right now. But it's missing its wings, which will be step 16 and 17. So I'm going to get started on those two steps for you right now. Okay, so part 1 of steps 16 and 17 are now complete. It's just really easy. You need a pastel blue 2x3 here and a little blue 1x1 on the middle to either the left or the right. It doesn't really matter how you do it. This is just an example of what you're supposed to do. Just make sure that each of the wings are different from each other. They're not identical. But now I'm going to move on to the second part of each step. You need to put on a pastel blue 2x3 on like so for both of the wings. There you go. That's it. Part 1, part 2 put together. And there we go. We've got some wing pieces for the wings now. So I'm now going to move on to part 3 of the build for each of the wings, where we're actually going to keep working towards that very icy like aura that the wings give off. Okay, so part 3 of each of the steps are now done. Each one has a pastel blue 1x4 on top of the 2x3 from the previous step. And then is another pastel blue 1x1, as you can see right here. You have on both pieces, there and there. And then behind, on top of each one is another 2x3 right here and here. So we're starting to work towards nicely towards the wings. We're now going to move on to part 4 of each of the steps. Okay, so part 4 of each of the steps are now completed. So I did a 1x3 pastel blue again, and I made sure that it was standing upright, and then hanging backwards. Then the same again with a 1x4 right here, followed by another 1x1 right here, and then a 2x3. So that is how you do each of those wings. So now I need to carry on with part 5 of each of the wings. Well, we're also going to finish them off with part 6 of each of the steps. Okay, so part 5 of each of the steps are now completed. It's really easy. It's just two 2x3s right here and here. Nothing that you really have to do special to make them look better. But now we're going to move on to the final part of each step, where we need a 2x4 for each of the wings, and we just apply it on each wing like so. There we go. Those are the wings done. And now we can attach them onto the main body of Articuno. There we go. That's one. There's the other. And we want to put that back onto the model. Like so. There we go. And that is it. We are nearly done with the build, actually. Just gotta make sure that the pieces are in line with each other. They're nice and straight. There we go. And that is it. We just have two more steps to go, and we're going to get to work on the very long tail of Articuno. Okay, so part 1 of step 18 is done. Really easy, this one, but a little confusing if you don't know how to do it. So what I did was I started off with a 2x3 cerulean blue here, then I placed a 1x2 on top of that, and then I followed it up with another 2x3 right there, so that we got a nice starting point for the long tail feather on the Articuno. So now I'm going to carry on with part 2 of the step and work upwards on the tail feather. Okay, so we are done with part 2 of this step. So again, I did another 1x2 cerulean blue right here, and right next to it was a 2x3. Then on top of the 2x3, fully on top of it, is a 2x4, where this peg matched the 1x2 right here. If you're a little unsure about where the 2x4 should go, check with your instructions, as it is a great reference material, as well as this video, on where you should put the brick. So now I'm going to move on to step 3 of the build and carry on with the feather. Okay, so part 3 of the step is now completed. What I did was I started off with a cerulean blue L right here. Then in front of it is another 2x3. Then on top was another 2x3 where it was facing down horizontally. Then I put on a 1x2 where it was a peg behind the 2x3, so that it links the pieces from the previous layer together, so that they don't wobble around too much. So with that done, I'm now going to move on to part 4 of the step, and it looks like it will be a little bit tricky, but as soon as I get this done, I'll show you how I've done it. Okay, so part 4 of the step is now completed, and what I had to do was I started off with a, if I look at the instructions again, yes, a little 1x1 cerulean blue right here. Here were my, right there. And then in front of it was another 2x3 where it was going vertically. Then I did, what I did was, I'll come back to the 1x2 in a minute. I did the 2x3 here, then the 1x3 on top. Sorry, not on top, right next to it. Then a 1x2, and I had to make sure that it was kind of forming this little zigzag motion. And then I placed it on top of the model like this. And then I placed on the 1x2 right there. And that was that for that step. Yep. But now we're going to move on to part 5 of the step. Really easy to do. You just need 2 L's. One for here and one for there. And that is that for that part. That part. And now we're going to move on to part 6 of the of this step. But this part has 3 parts to it. So part 1 of part 6 of step 18 is, man, that is a bit of a tricky one. The 2 blue pastel L's like this, followed by another one on top like so, then another L like this, and then finally on top is a 2x3 followed by another 2x3. There we go, and then we place it underneath the model like so. Beautifully done. And then we attach it at the bottom of Articuno's body. And you have to look at the instructions on this so that you know where you have to put it. And in this case, we just put it on right here in the middle. And just keep in mind that the instructions are also a great reference when building your Articuno model. Don't be afraid to keep looking at it. If you're not sure about it the first time that you look at it again and again to make sure that you got it spot on. But now I need to move on to step 19 of the build, which is really easy because we're attaching the talons for Articuno. So what we need, if I could just put here the Articuno over here, the two grey teeth here and here, and we attach a pastel 2x2, one on top of each one like so. There we go. And then we attach it. We attach each one onto the model. Just try to be a bit careful with this. There we go, as you don't want all your hard work to be ruined. And another one right here. And that's it. And now it's nearly done. We just have a few more pieces to go. We have the clear see-through pieces as such. So you have to build up a tower of 11 clear see-through 1x2s. Again here on the top. Then with a base of a 2x3 in the very middle. Like so. And you got yourself a stand. And what you have to do is you have to put it in between the model where the clear blue pastels were. And there we go. Hiya guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, why not check out my latest video right here. If you haven't got anything to watch on the weekend or one of your days off, why not check out my playlist right here. And if you aren't a subscriber to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified on my latest videos. Hope to see you again soon. Happy gaming. See you around.